Hello and welcome to this new episode on unlocking what other yoga practices couldn't. My journey into Yin Yoga. So why Yin Yoga might be able to unlock what other practices cannot. I would like to start with a question here. Have you practiced yoga maybe even for years and still felt like something was missing or you felt stuck? Like the physical part was obviously there. You were stretching, strengthening, flowing, but underneath it all, your nervous system was still in a survival mode. Your emotions still felt stuck. The stress, the overwhelm, maybe even the burnout never really went away. That was me for years. On the outside, yoga of course worked for me. I had flexibility, I could move through a flow class, I learned the alignment, I did all the breathing. People even looked at me and thought, wow, she must be so zen. But inside, I was still burning out. What was the turning point for me? A few years ago, I was still working in the corporate world. Long hours, endless deadlines, stress layered upon stress. I pushed myself harder and harder because that's what I thought success needed. Until my body stopped me. I landed in the hospital with a life-threatening illness. Everything I have been ignoring, all the warning signs, all the emotions shoved down so I could keep going, caught up with me. And here was the hard truth I had to face. The regular yoga I was practicing wasn't going to help me break those patterns. It didn't stop my nervous system from running in overdrive. It didn't teach me how to feel my emotions instead of repressing them. It didn't help me meet my body in its raw, vulnerable humanity. That's when I found Yin Yoga. I had to take it, of course, easy during my recovery after my illness. And I was looking for also a practice that could help me regain my mobility and flexibility, which I completely lost after spending an extended period of time in a hospital bed. From the very first practice, Yin Yoga just landed differently with me. Instead of rushing, I slowed down. Instead of pushing, I allowed. Instead of bypassing what I felt, I had to sit with it. And at first, honestly, it was very uncomfortable. My mind raced, my body rebelled, I wanted to escape and run away. But something in me knew that this was the work I needed to actually be with what I have been avoiding my whole life and also to be kind to my recovering body. It wasn't just about stretching connective tissues or regaining my mobility. Yin Yoga gave me the space to notice what lived in my body. The grief, the exhaustion, the fear I never allowed myself to express. Over time, I realized this practice was doing something that my previous yoga practices never could. It was helping me to regulate my nervous system, release emotions stuck in my body, and build the capacity to feel safe in stillness. So why regular yoga isn't always enough? Most yoga styles we see in studios today are great to build strength, stamina, stability, and discipline. And for some, it might be exactly what they need. But when you are dealing with nervous system dysregulation, burnout, unprocessed trauma, or emotions buried deep within the body, those practices often just skim the surface. Actually, a fast-paced yoga class is the perfect opportunity to escape, to disassociate, and to disconnect from whatever is going on in your internal landscape. You can sweat out tension, but you cannot flow away unprocessed grief. You can nail the perfect handstand, but it won't soften the armor around your heart. You can hold plank for 5 minutes, but it won't teach your nervous system how to rest and feel safe again. That's why so many yogis come to me after years of yoga and say, I thought I was doing all the right things, but I still feel stuck. I still feel anxious. I still feel disconnected. It's not that they failed at yoga or something. It's that most yoga spaces simply weren't designed with trauma awareness and nervous system regulation in mind, or any kind of depth apart from the physical practice for that matter. How Yin Yoga and trauma awareness shifted everything for me. What makes Yin Yoga different isn't just the long-held postures, it's the invitation to slow down, to lean into discomfort without forcing, to listen to what is arising in your body, mind, and soul instead of overriding it. When we add trauma awareness to that understanding, how the nervous system works, why safety is non-negotiable, and how emotions might get stuck in tissues, and we pair it with meridian work, Yin becomes not just a yoga practice, but a nervous system medicine. For me, this was definitely a game changer and the missing piece. I didn't just learn to stretch deeper, I learned to feel. I didn't just learn to relax, I learned to regulate. I didn't just learn to let go, I learned to integrate. And this is why after my illness and my burnout, I completely shifted my path. I left my corporate job, I deepened into Yin Yoga and trauma-informed practices, and eventually I built my life's work around teaching others how to hold space for real embodied healing. Why this matters for you, you might ask? If you have ever left a yoga class feeling like something was missing, if you ever thought, I should feel calm by now, but I don't, if you ever wondered why you are still stuck in cycles of stress or overwhelm, even though you practice yoga regularly, it's simply because your body and nervous system might need something different, something slower, deeper, more attuned to the places regular yoga doesn't touch. And that is what Yin Yoga offers. And this is why I created my courses. Because yoga teachers and practitioners deserve to know how to unlock these deeper layers for themselves and for others they hold space for. And here's the good news. You don't have to complete a whole teacher training to experience this shift. I have created a free practice just for you, which is called the Emotional and Nervous System Yin Reset. Inside you will get a guided Yin sequence designed to help you feel exactly how Yin Yoga works differently in your body. And along with this practice, I also share reflections on how emotions, meridians, and the nervous system connect, so you can start to notice those deeper layers for yourself. If this resonates, I invite you to download the free Yin Reset and give it a try. I'm sharing the link to this free offer in the description, and I can't wait to hear how the practice lands for you. Because sometimes the thing we have been searching for isn't another flow, another class, or another fancy technique. Sometimes it's the courage to slow down, to feel, and to finally meet ourselves where we are. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one.